Captain on the bridge.
Alright, captains, we are back on the bridge, and today, yes, we got some things to go over from the Star Trek Online X feed, so on screen. Yes, captains, before we get into this video, do us a huge favor and hit that like button. But also, if you're new here, welcome. Consider subscribing to our YouTube bridge, where we're always on the lookout for like-minded captains, where we can share our love, our passion, for Star Trek Online, but also things Star Trek. Now, that said, here we go. Captains, we got one thing to go over. So as we normally do, we'll go over them, drop our two ECs, and then at the end give our conclusion. So with yesterday's announcement of the winter event, we knew that the ship will be the Tamarian cruiser. So we'll go over this, but first I want to bring attention to this. I love this. They started this with the Shrike, and I hope they continue on with this. It gives you kind of a snapshot of what the ship obviously looks like, but also what it comes with. So we'll go through this. Any fashion Tamarian as seen on Star Trek TNG. Design-wise of the ship, not a big fan, but hey, it's free, so we are going to get it and see what it can do, and of course enjoy it and add it to our collection. So, space console item, the Polarity Coil Generator, generates dampening fields that neutralize and weaken enemy shields. Space console power, the Court of Silence, disables and then weakens enemy shields in a 5-click radius around the selected foe. And the actual trait, Starship Trait Power, Darmok and Jalad. Unshielded foes will be debuffed while you receive reduced captain ability cooldowns. Quite interesting. So we'll go back here. So Yomid, on the edge of winter. This year's winter event ship is the Tamarian Deep Space Cruiser from the classic TNG episode Darna. So go over here. Better picture of the actual cruiser itself. Again, to me, it doesn't scream Star Trek. It almost just screams like another type of, or this can be almost like a generic ship on any sci-fi show. But again, they had to make alien ships for Star Trek, so here is generic ship 1. Well, not 1, but you know what I mean, caps. So the Tamarian Deep Space Cruiser. Yornid, on the edge of winter. This year's winter event ship is the Tamarian Deep Space Cruiser from the classic TNG Darmok. Love how they said Darnok here, and it was actually Darmok. Bruh, I didn't even catch that. When the children of Tama were asked to prepare a dedication for the Tamarian Deep Space Cruiser T6, they offered the following statement. The beast at Tanagra, Mirab with sails unfurled, Kailash. When it rises, Uzani, his army with fists closed. Picard and Darthon of Eladrel, children of Tama, Temba, his arms wide. Darmok and Jalad on the ocean, the path of Kamada in spring. That is a mouthful. So this ship comes with a Lieutenant Commander Universal Command Specialist Bridge Officer seat and a Lieutenant Science Intelligence Specialist Bridge Officer seat. So 2 specialists here. I thought it was going to be Intel, or at least one of my guesses were Intel, sorry, and the other guess I had was Miracle Worker, but they went with Command, and I'm happy for it because, Caps, you know, me love me some Torp boats. So, Tier 6, of course, faction any required rank must complete the tutorial. The hull mod is 1.4, the shield mod is 1.2. The 4 weapons is 5 and aft weapons 3, so it's a 5-3 layout. Device slots 4, bridge officer stations, as we mentioned before, the Lieutenant Commander Tactical, Commander Engineering, Lieutenant Science/Intel, Ensign Universal, Lieutenant Commander Universal Command. We can definitely do something with this and have fun with it. Consoles 4, TAC 5, Eng, 2 Psi. So if you T6X2 this, you can have 7 slots for your ISO mags. Just saying. Base turn rate is 12, impulse mod is 0.14, inertia 35, plus 10 to weapon power, plus 10 to shield power. The console, of course, we already read that. The Universal Polarity Coil Generator, inspiration abilities. The Calamus at Behar, turn the tide. Now there's, I see what they're doing there. Zinda, his face black, his eyes red, against all odds. Basminti, when he pulled back the veil, battle preparation. Very interesting. Cruiser Commander A, of course you have Mirab with sails unfurled, strategic maneuvering. Zinda at peace before the ordeal, shield frequency modulation. Basminti, his secrets kept close. Weapon system efficiency. Uzani, his army with fists open. Attract. I like this. I like the immersion going on here. Starship Packery Mastery Package. Cruiser, the River. To mark in winter. Absorptive planing. That is just plus kinetic and plus physical damage resistance. Uznak, resolute on his path. Rapid repairs plus regen. Katillo, his just refusal, enhanced plating plus energy plus radiation damage resistance. Kaizi's children, their faces wet, armored hull plus maximum hull capacity. Darmok and Jalad, of course, the starship trait. Your admin stats: Eng 60, Psi 21, attack 45, and the special, it ignores Eng from events, very useful for paperwork for our admiralty. So, again, the console universal is the polarity coil generator. This Tamarian technology was originally used to generate dampening fields that could block transporters and communication, while allowing sensor readings to still get through. The most famous application of this technology was when it was used to enable a unique diplomatic confrontation between the Federation and the children of Tama. That would eventually lead to successful and peaceful negotiations between the two parties. Since then, the technology has been re-specialized for more general defensive purposes, allowing Tamarians to neutralize and weaken the shields of their foes. This tactic is sometimes still used to allow forced negotiations with aggressive ship captains by dropping their shields to allow the transporters to lock on the unsuspecting officers. This console also provides a passive ability which deals a large amount of additional kinetic damage when firing upon a ship affected by the shield's offline status, once every 10 seconds. Interesting. That, for me, I feel like I can pair that with carrier wave shield hacking. When you have that trait on and use tractor beam, and you use tractor beam anyways, or at least I do, with Uncon. And that could be quite interesting, quite fun. So the starship trait, of course, Darmok and Jalad. Your first weapon hit against an unshielded quadrant on a foe will allow you to beam their commanding officer away from their bridge, resulting in momentary confusion and a long-lasting debuff to their outgoing damage. Your ship will in turn reap the benefits of being prepared for this tactic, gaining an instant reduction to all captain ability cooldowns. This may be only triggered once per enemy ship. Interesting. So it sounds like it's going to be fun. And these ships, these event ships, aren't really meant to be replacing any meta ships out there, quote unquote meta for the DPS. But you know what? I welcome this ship. This looks like it's going to be fun. Sounds like it's going to have fun. We can definitely do something with this, with what we have, especially on our main. And why not? You know, as I mentioned before in the video previous, we have Kayshawn, of course, in lower decks, and even the actual image here looks like Kayshawn, but of course it's not. But it's kind of bringing together, of course, the TNG and lower decks with the Tamarian theme here to Star Trek Online, which we are all for. I'm loving this. I'm going to just put this part of the thumbnail just because it looks really cool. I do hope that they just keep doing this. It's a nice little snapshot to see what we have or what we'll be getting with the ship. Again, it looks cool. To me, it looks like a very generic looking sci-fi ship, but it's Star Trek, it's canon. We're getting it for free if you do the events. And again, the event is so easy to do, especially with that race. Less than 2 minutes and you're done. And you can even walk it, captains, and we'll probably show off another video doing that, updating it for 2023 this year. So again, can't wait to get this. We'll definitely be enjoying this not only on our PC bridge, but also the console bridge, because this will be coming to console at the same time, if I'm not mistaken. Usually the events are all at the same time, so it's going to be another free ship for my free-to-play account and just another ship to add to the fleet here on the PC bridge. So captains, that is the video, just a short update on what we got here. So do us a huge favor, hit that like button, but also comment below. Let us know what you think of this ship and what you're going to possibly do with it. And if you're going to be possibly making a Tamarian possible tune so that you can fit the ship on that captain. And of course, consider again subscribing here to our YouTube bridge, and we will leave it on this note.
live long and prosper.